Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be on the update number 11. Since it is a new month, we are now heading into August, and yeah, there's been a lot, well, not too much, but have been new releases that we should be looking forward to. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin. To start off with the update, we're going to be getting the event Dreams of the Swordsmiths, which is going to be starting this Wednesday, as you can see from the date, August 4th, until August 17th. So during this time, we can be farming those medals, basically the currency medals, and it's going to be kind of just like any other event that we get sometimes. This time around though, for the EX, high difficulty EX quest, we are going to be able to get the item, the gold anklet. And what the gold anklet is going to be is, it's an accessory type. As you can see here from the stats, because it's already been released on Japan, we kind of already know what it provides. If it's a +5, it can give you up to agility of 8% for the first 2 turns that it's on, for each unit that it's going to be equipped on. So which is actually not bad. It's actually pretty nice to have. You don't have to like mandatory always have like accuracy stuff in general. At least this helps you get out your first turn much more quicker if possible. From here you can see from the stats, it doesn't have a lot of HP too much, especially compared to other items. It does have a decent amount of spirit on the barrier type, and then the accuracy and crit rate are kind of just neglectable because they're not really good enough to like replace an entire equipment slot in general. Basically, if you're going to be using this, it's going to be mostly for the spirit, additionally with a little bit of agility as well. So here, what we're going to be getting for the week also is going to be the login bonus for both Kilphe and Velric shards. We will be getting at least 40 of them each, so we're not losing any shards there. I will say we are only getting 2.1k Vizier here. However, there are 2 important things to think about. First off, it's going to be the Velric summon featured summon ticket 1, and then we get a Kilphe 1 as well. What these do is that I think what it's going to be just a regular rare ticket. However, it might have rate up for them specifically. So if you're like RNG lucky, it's possible you can get them. And while we do get 400 less Vizier for the week compared to like Charlotte's week right now, we do have Hiroki Gifts coming for like a lot more Vizier. So do not think too heavily or like think that, oh, they're like just chipping out on us on Vizier. So these are actually not bad benefits overall. From here, we do have the equipment training quest for Golden Axe. The problem with this, well, it's not really a problem, but like if you do not have an axe already, you should definitely grab this and or use Moraga's TMR specifically for an axe. Outside of this, Golden Axe will definitely be very useful and good. We do also have a different axe coming. We don't know when, but when on Japan's side of things, when Kilphe came out, she came with an axe that has a slash penetration. And until then, we are only going to have to work with either this Golden Axe and or Moraga's TMR. So basically, you decide if you want to like maybe grab Kilphe and like long-term builder until like 4 or 5 months later when we might have the other axe come out for slash penetration. You can get it then. Other than that, it's a very good idea to get at least 1 Golden Axe now. From here, as you can see, we have the secret book quest again. It's going to be here for approximately a week. It's going to be the sword, great sword, and axe, obviously for the Golden Axe pretty much. I will say though, especially if you're going to be pulling like Cloud or something later, he's going to be needing great sword books if you do want that Buster Sword, so yeah, keep that in mind. And specifically, we're going to be getting JP and item drop campaign for a week. If you're not using Kilphe and Velric, it doesn't matter because it still has at least double item drop rate. If you are planning for any of the Final Fantasy VII characters that are going to be coming like literally within a few weeks, within a month I would say, then this is a good time to kind of farm up their materials. It is literally like the best time to farm it up basically, outside of like triple drop rate, but we haven't had those in a very long time. And here we are at Kilphe Summer, that she's going to be released to us a little bit earlier. I say earlier because JP recently got her and we're just getting her earlier because it's a seasonal and limited unit, unfortunately. As you can see, starting this Wednesday on August 4th, she'll be released and we can start pulling for her. She is limited, so you have to keep that in mind. It's really unfortunate. And then she's going to be here for approximately 20-ish days. So if you're going to pull her, you might as well do it in this amount of time. Keep in mind, a lot of people are going to be thinking about, oh, this is kind of like a Final Fantasy VII Vizier sync. And you're right, it is. However, because she is just like a base unit and you can kind of see her like stats and stuff from Japan side of things, I will say that she is a capable, actual like good light unit that's slashing. So I will say if you're thinking about pulling her, if I had to give a very quick like without going in-depth review, which I will be doing later this Wednesday once her information comes out and it's translated, I will just right now just say she is at least a 4 out of 5 unit, meaning I don't think you will regret your choice if you do pull her. just in that situation. She might have a higher like rating later, she might have a lower rating later, I'm not sure. I have to do like a really good in-depth review, but just if you want just like a brief, just my type of decision or my perspective, I do have to give her at least a 4 out of 5 as of right now, especially for what she provides. Her main job is going to be a strider, her sub-job is going to be soldier and thief. You can tell here already that she's going to have a decent amount of agility and attack damage because of her soldier and thief sub-jobs. Strider specifically, we don't know exactly what it's going to be giving on the ability board. I mean, you can check on the WOTV calculator website right now, which does give her a bit of damage as well as spirit. So as you can see, she's going to have a little bit more on the spirit side, so she's going to be like a magic bruiser type of thing. From here though, her limit break is going to be Summer Fatale or Fatal. I am not actually quite sure how to say that. And this is the first light imperil ability that's a light attack damage. And I say that because Sakura does have a light imperil. However, because it's Thunder's Light, I believe, it is a lightning element ability that lowers the resistance for it. So it doesn't even actually do lightning damage. So it's, light elemental damage. So it's kind of weird. For Kilphe, it is not only light elemental damage that you're dealing, it also reduces the light elemental resistance. So that's why I would call it the first instance of that in this situation. And considering how strong, like, we know how resistances can be, especially for elemental, this is going to be very nice to have. From here, we have Twisting Shield Breaker, which as you can see, it looks like Killing Axe's range. It does have a range height of 2 at least, so that's actually pretty nice. It's basically going to break the barrier and then deal large damage. So not medium or small, it's doing large, meaning it has potential to one-shot units, kind of like Helena. If Helena does not have enough mitigation against Kilphe, or if Kilphe has just too much damage, she can actually one-shot her through her TMR. Like, I definitely tested the calculator like damage. It's possible for her. An overly super defensive Helena will still survive, and or like a super like not buffed up Kilphe can also not one-shot her. So it depends on the situation, but it does have the potential for it. And from here, from her other ability, it's going to be Frost Axe, which is going to be one of her ranged abilities and does AoE, and it has a chance of inflicting Frostbite. As we said before, how broken Frostbite, sorry, I'm like caught up on my words. Frostbite is really, really good if it lands, especially on units that are reliable on AP. I know everyone's reliable on AP, but if they are like a mage or something, they don't need too much AP, considering other units are kind of like reliant on like bells or like AP generation for like significant amounts. So if like Frost Axe lands on like a Dwayne or a King Mont and they had bells on them, that bells is kind of useless now for the remaining like 3 turns of Frostbite. They will only have to like deal with like that one attack or ability they can get off before they have no more AP to use. So it's going to be actually very important to think about that type of status ailment. And lastly, before we get to the next slide, it's going to be the Chocobo shards. She's going to have them limited in the Blinding Dunes, especially if you're going to pull her and or in the future. You might as well just set your Chocobo expedition there and start just collecting it over at least the 20 days that she's going to be released with us. And here we are for Velric. Weirdly, he was, if we look at the release calendar, technically he's supposed to be coming out next week, like the week after, but because he's coming this week as well with Kilphe at the same time, we can kind of, like, I guess, think about or like predict that the Leviathan raid is going to be coming out, because they almost never do unit releases with raids at the same time. So if they pushed it earlier for Velric this week, it kind of makes sense that we might be having a raid next week. I don't know, I'm not like a prof or anything, but that's what I'm assuming. So for Velric, he's going to be a main job Nightblade, kind of like El Sorel. He has sub-jobs Pugilist and Soldier, which means he does have at least 2 like strong attack types. He's going to have Slash and Strike, and since Pugilist is one of the strongest strike type sub-jobs or damage types for that strike type, it's going to be very nice to have for him. For his ability overview, he has Shattering Creation, which is going to raise his defense penetration and then deal a large amount of damage, and then has a chance of inflicting disable for 3 turns, which is pretty significant. Disable, as I said, almost in almost all my character like unit reviews, disable is very strong. If you have resistances towards it, that's great, but if you don't, your unit is literally going to be almost useless. Like, it's literally going to be useless for 3 turns, unfortunately. As you can see here though, it also says it raises his own defense piercing rate, which is kind of concerning. That means like how much base or passive defense piercing does he have without any AP. And I say that because if we do look at his Japan stats on WOTV Calc, the website, I don't know why I just say like just looking at it like online on the website. Anyways, he has innately from his master ability 25 defense piercing, which is not bad at all. However, he does not have the same level as like 40%, 60%, 80%, or even 90%, kind of like Zazan does if he uses triple split. So since he kind of has his defense piercing rate like a good portion of 40 from his limit break if it's maxed, specifically from his limit break, that means he has to use his limit break before doing the rest of his attacks, or else large defense, like just defenses in general, will kind of get through him quite easily. Outside of here, we have Drain Rush, which is going to hit 3 times and then heal a portion of the damage dealt. With his EX buff on this, he kind of heals double the amount, and you get 1 tile range more. So you could definitely see that they're kind of going for him as a bruiser sustainer as well, just for that. And as you can see from his passive, from his EX upgrade, his Nightblade Secret Arts is now going to give him healing power as well, which means Drain Rush's healing potency definitely goes up, so it's going to be very, very important for that. Velric is also going to have his shards now permanently because he's a permanent unit in the Snowstorm Ridge if you want to grab those. And lastly is the Starlit Trist, or Tirist. I'm not sure how to say it. This is a new vision card that's going to be coming out to global at least. I'm not sure if Japan already has it. I do not believe they do. We're not sure what this vision card is going to give, but it's possible this could be used on Velric and make him very, very strong. But because I'll give him a very quick brief rating. 1, because he's ice, I can't give him a really good high rating because of just how easy it is right now for like Dwayne or like King Mont that are just so strong in the meta right now that can make quick work of him, or just tank him quite easily and not have too many worries because he doesn't really have any slash type penetration, which the vision card might fix. But because we don't know it, I'm giving this rating without any like deep potential because we don't know what that vision card is, which is why I'll be doing a good review of him this Wednesday once we get the information out. So yeah, because of that, ice type. And 2, he is locked to strike and physical. Well, not strike and physical, sorry, that's kind of stupid. Strike and slash attack types. Strike is very, very useful. However, because he is physical damage, he still has to get through defense penetration. And if he's not using his limit break and he has to resort to strike type damage first, he's only going to be relying on his 25% 25% defense penetration first. So because of those situations, I do believe he's still like a very strong and beefy character, and he's very anti-physical damage. I'll give him, just without like a deep overview, a 3.5 out of 5 right now. We'll have to see later, especially with his vision card, because it could give him the potential he needs. But for now, I would say he's a safe, in my opinion, a 3.5 out of 5 for now. And here we are with the Hiroki Gifts once again. As you can see, because we had lost like a little bit, like 400 Vizier from the login, we do get the present, which is going to be very nice because we get 2k. So we technically gained 1,600 compared to the weekly login. So it's very nice to have. 200 mil gil is very going to be good. Large energy pots. This is important, and I say this important because we have a trial right now for the 3-star like accessory right now from Mua's. Like she's kind of showcased as the unit here. However, and I say this is kind of important because if Final Fantasy VII does have the trial they released in Japan, which is going to be the Shinra belt, I do believe the Shinra belt is extremely strong. So if you're low on potions or like energy pots right now, this is a good time to kind of stock up, and them giving us at least 50 is a decent amount. We're also going to be getting the expedition tickets, skip tickets and such. Most important here, I don't care about the rest too much outside the unit shards of 40, which is very nice. It's going to be 6 Blossoms of Paradise. Thank goodness. We are always low on those. It's always nice to see those to get like in presents. So yeah, this is a very nice gift for us to get. We'll also be getting the guild battle map change, which is going to be changing to Coastline, which we have right now actually under Arena. So if you had like a good compositions here that's been working for you in Arena and you can maybe translate it into guild battle, this is like the perfect time to do it. And as you can see, the map effect is light attack up. We might start seeing a lot more dark and light teams, and I say dark specifically because they are very, very strong, and with their setup it is hard for a lot of light units in general to kind of like get around them. However, with Kilphe Summer, as well as like going like a very defensive and or like offensive build with light, you can deal like significant damage with light. Keep in mind, outside of the meta units here, definitely ranged attackers can have an advantage because of the heightened like starting position. Like they can definitely have the range if they need it. And here we have the map arena map change starting on the 9th of August instead of the 4th of this Wednesday. We're beginning the Mines entrance. As some of you might have seen in like different like YouTubers and or like me specifically, as I'm from Cabbage, this map is very large and you definitely have up to 1 to 2 turns of buffs like significantly. You could definitely use like turtling strategies, and or you could use like a bum rush strategy so that the enemy kind of has to respect that you're rushing them and they have to use like auto AI to approach you immediately. So yeah, this is gonna be kind of fun to work around. You can also see that the map effect is gonna be ice attack up, which is definitely, we're gonna see a lot more Valentine Selir as well as Velric and Auron and like Gilgamesh. We're also gonna be seeing a lot of more Fry Evia probably, especially with her EX making her much more capable and stronger. This is gonna be a good time to bring out your ice units. And yeah, we've come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope I didn't make the video too long, but I just had to talk about briefly like what it like happened or like what came out. It wasn't like too large of a section this time around, so it's not too bad. And there are certain things, especially on this picture that I posted, we have a high chance of Leviathan raid next week, mostly because the schedule just kind of lines up for it, as well as because they kind of have to do it now before we get even more behind on raids. And I say behind because we still do not have Holy Flan raid for some reason. They'll probably be releasing it like during the seasonal time, but we'll have to see. Outside of that, we also know that Final Fantasy VII as a collaboration, if we're following the correct path, and we should be because we have not deterred from it yet, they should be coming out within a month. So like a month or two, which should be closer instead of later. So yeah, keep in mind, if you do want to save your Vizier and stuff and not pull for Kilphe and Velric, that's fine. You should also try to at least prepare for the Final Fantasy units if you wanted them. So yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, peace out.